everybody, it's Tyler with Gaia Force Gaming, and we are here covering the Store Championship Finals game. So on the right, we do have local Danny playing Imperialdramon, and on the left, we do have a local named Eric playing Metalgaruron X. This is the finals of one of our local Store Championships, and I just wanted to capture the footage and go over it with you guys. So Imperialdramon opens with the Dual Tamer, and then Melga opens with a Davis as well as the Search Gabu. So pretty standard opening plays. I'm pretty sure everyone's pretty familiar with how Imperialdramon plays. Not a lot has changed into the BT9 format with Imperial. But the Metalgaruron X also just trying to build a pretty good line and go for that OTK, if not close to OTK, type of gameplay. So we see the Hammer Spark and just the hard drop Dino Bee from the Imperialdramon player. Followed up with an Ice Wall, I believe. And then the Garurumon player gets that Promo Guru in the back. I am sorry about that glare. I didn't realize the glare on the left player's screen is that bad at the time of recording. So Imperial does swing over the Gabu, try to mitigate the board a little bit as it tries to set up some better tempo plays. Does go into the fighter mode. So he did not want to bounce the Gabumon, which is why, of course, he swung over it before evolving. Otherwise, it still answers the problem. We do see the promote on left side going into the Garu X. Great card for protection from battles. Right into the Promo Garurumon, the bread and butter of the Metalgarurumon X deck. So he's going to be able to swing, restand, have that pseudo jamming. Does hit the Analog Boy for the Imperial player. Then we're going to see him go into the Sagittarius mode, which not a lot of Metalgarurumon players run, and if they do, it's usually just a one-of. So it does bounce that Madoki Beta to hand. We do see the X Antibody option go down, evolving into the Garu X to unsuspend. So he's got a very good stack here on the left side. He's got 9 cards going to 10. So he does hit with the 2 checks. And then we will have the potential here for another swing into a Melga X. Can't quite make out his hand. Or will we just see him drop? We're going to have to do something because that fighter mode will be able to suspend something and unsuspend because of its ability with the Dual Tamer upside down. So it is the Imperialdramon, but he does have enough boosts. He does have that Melga X, so he does unsuspend and bounce that to hand. Very strong play. Looks like this game 1 might be about to wrap up. I do have this sped up, I think, a little more than double. So it was a pretty long match. It does go to time as a heads up, so we are going to see some gameplay in turns at the end of this. We do have the Mega Death coming down from the Imperialdramon player, just to answer that stack. The Imperialdramon player does run Leomon, so he does have a blocker in deck. Just a matter of whether or not he will have it. Does have that Cocytus Breath just to kind of readjust the tempo back and forth here for this game 1. So still a pretty commanding lead from the Guru player here. We are going to see the starter deck Vmon looking like he's going to grab another one and then evolve to that Leomon. Yep, he does have the blocker. That's very good, very strong. So this game might not be wrapped up as quickly as initially thought. They did take their time here in this finals match because it is for an invite to Nats. Both of these players didn't have their invite before today, so it is a pretty important matchup for them. They are both pretty serious contenders, pretty competitive players, and they're both very good players. So good to see at our locals we have some solid solid competition. So that Leomon doing a really good job of staving off the lethal from the Garurumon player, but if he could build up into where he could have a Garurumon X able to bounce it, the where Garurumon X I should say, you're going to see a swing with jamming. It's going to draw, hit the BT5 Garurumon, and then just dropping the Vmon, grabbing the Stingmon. And then it's just a matter of, does he have the Guru into Garuru? He does have that, and does he have the where Guru X? He does. So he will be able to bounce that Leomon, swinging for game, ending game 1. So advantage starts with the player on the left, Eric, playing the Metalgaruromon X deck. Some interesting techs in these decks that we don't often see, or at least not super often, maybe a little bit here and there as the meta evolves, but we did see the Cocytus Breath from the Melgo player, and the Leomons from the Imperial player. Leomon has been more popularized, I know. The Analog Youth, though, pretty unusual tech, but Danny does like to run some interesting things, and they usually work out pretty well for him. I know just that extension when a level 5 would die could be very helpful, along with hatching the egg to apply more pressure, especially in slower formats. I shouldn't say slower, but more setup formats like the OTK format. So he does open with the Labra here. See the double Gabu on the left. He does go right into the XVmon. Very strong start. And he does open with that Analog Youth. I am curious as to how many he's running. We did have to leave like basically right away after this match because they went to time and the shop was closing up. So I do apologize for not being able to get the deck lists. If I do end up getting them next week at locals, I'll try and link the .dev links in a pinned comment or something. So we do see some chip damage from the Melga player. And does promote, gain that memory after thinking for a minute. Swing with the XVmon. And does go into the blue memory boost. I imagine he's going to grab the Lobo to hang on to it. Nope, he does go for the Vmon. Very interesting. I think Danny might run multiple Lobos, if I remember from his Ultimate Cup deck list. He did come, I'm not sure actually if these are the same exact deck lists, but he did come second at the Gen Con Ultimate Cup with Imperial. So, very, very good player. It knows his way around Imperial pretty well. Did swing over that XVmon just to clear the problem, and now Danny has another one set up, setting his opponent to 1. Then Eric here, player on the left, looks like he might have missed Rookie, but is going to draw to try and get into 1. That is a little rough, but it is the Madoki Beta, so he does just drop it instead of evolving in the back. I think that's the Madoki Beta. So again, I'm very sorry about the glare. Didn't realize how bad it was when I had set up the camera. And again, some of these, even sped up some of these thought processes, it might take a while because this is a pretty high stakes game for a local level competition, just with that Nats invite on the line. Not to keep pointing that out, but don't want you guys thinking there's any slow play going on, just very methodical thought processes. The Davis does hit the double hit, the Madoki Beta, and the fighter mode. That's pretty strong. Then the Guru player is going to just Cocytus Breath after thinking long and hard about his play. It does look like he's a little bricked up, having trouble finding some level 4s, which in the Metalgaruron X deck you do need a kind of see both the standard Garurumon and the Garurumon X in your level 4 spot to make the deck work at its peak performance. Does whiff on the Vmon, which is the slight downside to running the Labramons, I think, but Labramon just adds so much of the extension that you want to see in decks like Imperial that are just trying to really put that pressure on. Does drop another and grab the Stingmon off it. It's pretty good, setting up a pretty wide board. Along with having that Stingmon to go with the XV if he does have the Pail or Dino B in hand. Looks like Eric here still searching for that level 4. Not quite sure what to do here. Can't quite make out his hand, but I'm assuming at this point that he does not have the level 4 to go into. Or, oh, it looks like he has the Garu X, but no regular Garu, and I don't think he has the Gabumon X to go with it. He doesn't want to forego that effect on the stack that he's building in the back. He does end up evolving into the Garurumon X, dropping the Ice Wall. He does just go for the chip damage. Very interesting. Then we see the blue memory boost. He's going to grab that level 4 and put the rest at the bottom. Or I'm sorry, not the level 4, the Gabu X, I believe it was. Sorry about misspeaking there. Again, I'm watching this in the sped up version that I'm showing you. And to be a little transparent, sometimes watching these, it is the first time I watched the game since it happened in real time. Or sometimes at all if I wasn't sitting down watching the game in person. So Danny here does have a pretty wide board, but he is under Ice Wall. So he is just going to try to mitigate that, I imagine, one way or another. Doing some quick math. Does opt to, looks like he's just going to commit to making his board wider. Perhaps. Keep that for later. Oh, it does see the Hammer Spark. Goes into the Leomon to put him to 1. Pretty strong with the Madoki. It foregoes the boost that the Melga player can use. He does have a blocker on board, 4 bodies. Just in a really good position for this game too. We see Danny get a lot of use out of that Leomon. I'm not sure if he runs just 1 or maybe 2. Excuse me. He does swing with the jamming. Does swing again. The Leomon does die to security, giving him that memory. And then the Lobo for game. Very, very good game too. So now we see these players go into a game 3 for all of the proverbial marbles. The Nationals invite is on the line. As you guys can see too, sorry again, I got a little tickle in my throat. As you guys can see too, Imperialdramon still performing very well in BT9 with no new cards. Like just the way it plays lends itself to the new meta pretty well. So that is very interesting to see. Looks like he might not have the XVmon, but he will start off with what looks like a blue memory boost. Oh no, he does go for the Davis instead. Does double hit here, which is pretty good. Getting the Vmon and the fighter mode. Then we do see the counter Davis. Or that's a blue memory boost, I'm so sorry. Another blue memory boost. Just filling up his hand. A little bit of a slow start, but looks like it might be a slow start for both of them. We do see that Leomon come down. And a blue memory boost to pass turn. Grabbing the Pyildramon. Melga player still looking like he's not quite sure how to commit to this line, but he does end up going into the Madoki, then start climbing up with the Garuru X's. Right into that promo Garurumon to pass the turn. Here the Imperial player is just thinking over his play. Does have that Leomon on board with the boost. Pretty solid board state, but the Melga player does have quite a stack in raising now, so pressure is starting to come on for both players about who will be the aggressor and who will have a retaliatory strike. Both decks very capable of OTKing as well, which is a scary premise. We do see, looks like Pyildramon drop, so Danny will be the first one to start swinging. Do have that HPD to go into Dragon mode. Very good. Just to spit out the blocker and the Stingmon again, just to widen his board. Pretty strong plays. And then just passing turn with an Analog Youth, or no, with the XVmon. So now the Melga player, I'm not sure if he has the Weregaru X, what he's got going on. Oh, I do see the Weregaru X. I see the EX Metal Garurumon. So now it's just how he wants to navigate this turn. So he does promote up. I wonder if he's going to go to the... Oh, excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry about that. If that was in the mic, did try to cover it. I wonder if he's going to go into the Weregaru X to bounce the Leomon, or if he's just going to let it gain the memory. It is rough because he has the EX1 Metal Garurumon, but no Tamers in play to bottom deck these on deletion effects, which is a bit of a nuisance. He does go into that. Well, he bounces the Sting. That's smart because it stops him from going right into a Pyildramon next turn, forces him to use the memory. We do see that EX2 Metal Garurumon goes back to the 0. Again, just so unfortunate that he doesn't have a Tamer in play, because this would be so strong to bottom deck the Leomon. For those who don't know, the X Garurumon, Metal Garurumon does Bottom deck, a on deletion effect on swing if you have the Tamer in play. We're going to see the boost get boosted. We're going to see the swing happen over dragon mode, trying to see if the block will happen. The block will gain 2 memory and draw a card. He does just let it go through, very interesting. Or, he is thinking he does let it go through. We're going to see another mem boost. It looks like he does not have the Metalgaruron X, which is a very rough spot to be in because that would be such a big play right now. I do apologize as well. I know time gets called very soon in this match. I did not make any sort of notation on screen as to when that would happen, but just know that they are pretty close to being the time, and in the store champs, it is not technically a single elimination, which is rough because the timer rules can be a little unforgiving in that sense. So we do see the Imperialdramon swing with the XVmon. It does hit an AK but has jamming. Will he drop the Stingmon? He does. And we see the Dino Bee get played, keeping the Metalgarurumon suspended. And we are going to see a swing, perhaps? I do believe at this point time has been called. Forgive me if I am incorrect with that. So he is going to instead suspend the Gabumon X. Talking about how much memory he's at after gaining the memory from the Labramon. Swing it at security. Let's hit the 6K. It looks like we're going to see the Megadeth come down to hit the Metalgarurumon. You do see the BT1 Garurumon for the 1 memory come down, or BT5 Garurumon goes into the Garurumon X. Draw for the Gabu X. He does have the X antibody option in hand along with the Garu X, so interesting choice to swing at security instead of clearing board, but like I said, I believe this is the last turn for the Melga player, so he's just going to kite his breath, and then the Imperial player, don't think from this position he can quite win it. Well, he is at 5, so in a perfect world, he could swing with Leo, it survive, drop Stingmon, Imperialdramon, survive twice, and then Lobo for game. But I do not think he has all of that in his hand. And this is the last turn of the game. He's just trying to see if he can win. And I believe he just ends his turn here. He does evolve to the Lobo. Swing. And yeah, just pass his turn. There comes the handshake. They did end in a draw for the store champs, and it came down to tiebreakers. For anyone on the edge of their seat, the Imperialdramon player did score a little bit higher in tiebreakers, so Danny did get his invite, but still wanted to showcase the game. It was a very good game, very back and forth, and there are definitely a lot to take away from that game in terms of just matchup knowledge and just the way this meta is shaping up to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still watching here at the end, really do appreciate that. And bring you guys some more gameplay videos, some more store champs, some more deck profiles. Love you guys. Bye.